We begin tonight with breaking news out of Bremer County. At least one Iowa State trooper and the Sumner police chief have been shot following a bank robbery in Maynard this afternoon.
The suspects got away after the robbery, but officers have now set up a perimeter in Frederika. CBS 2's Gabe Erickson is live at the scene with the latest details. Gabe.
Yeah, we are set up just down the road from the Frederika Fire Department. A lot of officials and agencies moving in and out down there as this standoff continues. State Patrol airplanes have been circling the perimeter for hours where these two suspects are believed to be. Now, as you heard, two officials injured in that chase, a state trooper, and according to the Sumner mayor, it was the Sumner police chief, Dennis Kane. He was the other. The Department of Public Safety says the suspects were firing during that chase. They eventually ditched the car in a quarry just northwest of town and ran into the woods. Law enforcement has set up a 2-mile perimeter around that area, but they aren't telling us when they plan to make a move. Residents we spoke with hope that they make that move before dark. The State Patrol tells CBS 2 that the suspects have long rifles, which can shoot a long distance and are very accurate. That's why they're taking their time and staying back, especially given that two of their own have already been injured.
We do know that two officers were injured. We are continuing to monitor and evaluate their condition. Last I heard, everybody was still alive, and we, of course, hope and pray that that will be the case on into the evening hours and into tomorrow.
Now, that bank robbery took place in Maynard just after 11 o'clock this morning. The search and standoff began here about an hour after that. If you live within 5 miles of Frederika, the authorities here have a simple message: stay inside, lock your doors. Also, go outside, grab the keys out of your car and lock your car so that these suspects don't have any avenue to escape. A very fluid situation here in Frederika. Stay tuned for the 6 o'clock news for the latest on this standoff. We are live in Frederika. Gabe Erickson, CBS 2 News. State Patrol just updated us a couple of minutes ago. We're down the road from where they're all set up at the Frederika Fire Department. That's where there's a lot of activity going on back and forth, coming in and out as this search and standoff continues. And the State Patrol released the names of the victims that were shot. Mark Domino was a 30-year veteran of the State Patrol, shot in his bicep. Dennis Kane, the police chief of Sumner, in critical condition, shot not only in his thumb and his hand, but also in his neck. So we're going to keep updated on his condition as the night goes on. As for the state patrolman, he has been treated and is doing just fine, according to the State Patrol. Airplanes have been circling over here as to where they think these two suspects might be. White males and wearing black clothes are the only descriptions they have at this point. And as you mentioned, they consider them armed and dangerous. Now, as you heard, two officials injured in that chase. As for the Department of Public Safety, says the suspects were firing during the chase. That's when those two officials were injured. They eventually ditched the car in a quarry just northwest of town and ran into the woods. And the law enforcement has set up a 2-mile perimeter around that area, but they aren't telling us when they plan to make a move, only that they have officers at pretty much any location along that 2-mile perimeter to make sure that no one's coming in and out, so they can keep an eye on that. Residents we spoke with hoping that this ends before dark, but the tactical teams are prepared with night vision, not only in the airplanes but on the ground with that night vision in the FLIR system, which reads their heat seeking throughout the night. So they're prepared for this to go into the night. The State Patrol tells us, as I mentioned, that the suspects are using long rifles. That has a very long distance. They're very accurate if aimed well, and that's why they're taking their time and staying back, especially given that two of their own have already been injured.
We do know that two officers were injured. We are continuing to monitor and evaluate their condition. Last I heard, everybody was still alive, and we, of course, hope and pray that that will be the case on into the evening hours and into tomorrow.
Now, that bank robbery took place in Maynard just after 11 o'clock. The search and standoff here in Frederika didn't happen until an hour later, so a very long car chase. Law enforcement asks anyone living within 5 miles of Frederika to lock your car, take the keys out so that these suspects don't have an avenue to escape should they see a car. Also, lock your doors, and if you see anyone matching that description wearing black clothes, two white males, call the police just at 911, and they'll take all the help they can get right now. A very active scene. We'll have the latest online and tonight at 9 o'clock on our sister station, Fox 28, and the CBS 2 News at 10. We are live in Frederika. Gabe, Erickson, CBS 2 News.
The search is on to find two bank robbers in Bremer County. Investigators say they opened fire on officers, injuring an Iowa State trooper and the Sumner police chief.
Our Gabe Erickson's been on scene all afternoon. He joins us now with the latest. Gabe.
Yeah, we just spoke with the State Patrol shortly before this show began. They had some new information. They released the names of those officers. First of all, the state trooper was Mark Domino, a 30-year veteran with the force, shot through his bicep. They say he was in good spirits, though. He even finished that police chase until those suspects took off on foot. They were in a quarry that was just northwest of town here. They left the car, and they haven't been seen but one time since then. And now the problem is that it's starting to get dark, although you can hear that the State Patrol has some planes up in the sky. Still, they have a FLIR system that they can use night vision and also have heat readings, and they can see where people are. So we're going to be updated on this by the hour, so stay tuned online. Also, and on tonight at 9 and 10 on our sister station as well.
We begin tonight with new developments in a shooting investigation in northeast Iowa.
The search is over for two accused bank robbers who police say also shot a police chief and a state trooper. Officials say the police chief of Sumner, Dennis Kane, and Iowa State Trooper Mark Domino were both shot during a pursuit of two suspected bank robbers. This is a picture of Kane taken in 2009, and the photo of Domino is provided by the Iowa State Patrol.
This all started in Fayette County around 11 o'clock this morning, where the Maynard Savings Bank was robbed. The suspects got away after the robbery, but officers caught up with them near Frederika, where they eventually arrested the men. Fox 28's Gabe Erickson is live with the very latest details. Gabe?
Yeah, it took several agencies from the federal to the local level and even out of state, SWAT teams, air support, all to bring these two men in. Authorities set up a 2-mile perimeter as soon as they lost sight of the men, and it was along those perimeter lines this standoff came to an end.
I think we're all a little happier right now.
State Trooper Bob Conrad walks up bearing a smile.
I'm glad to announce that we have two in custody.
This after a nearly 7-hour-long manhunt for two suspects involved in a bank robbery in Maynard that led authorities on a chase to Frederika.
We not only located the suspects, we located firearms as well.
The two men were found trying to crawl past the perimeter 3/4 of a mile north of Frederika when a Waterloo police officer heard them.
Yes, they tried to get by. Heard something, followed up on what they were hearing, and then found our two suspects. Good cop work, good police work.
The patrol says the arrest went down without incident or gunfire, a different tone than how the day started after the suspects shot and injured two law enforcement officers during the chase. State Trooper Mark Domino was treated for a shot through his bicep. Sumner Police Chief Dennis Kane was shot on his thumb, hand, and neck and underwent surgery in life-threatening condition. The patrol says Kane is out of surgery and his condition has been upgraded to stable yet critical.
I know it means it's better. I know it means that he's out of life-threatening condition at this point in time, and we're very thankful to hear that. Very lucky individual, and we're very proud of his service.
The State Patrol says they'll release more information tomorrow morning on exactly what happened leading up to those arrests and who these men are. So stay tuned tomorrow morning on the Fox 28 News at 7 a.m. for more new details. Live in Frederika, Gabe Erickson, Fox 28 News at 9.